Hello there, my name's Ray, I'm with Team S.T.E.A.M, and in this video I'm planning on bringing you 3 small projects back to back to back. So this video is going to end up containing 2 blasting projects and 1 blasting and painting project. And what I've got going on out here today is I've got a hydro bed, which is a flatbed that fits on a pickup that is meant to pick up big round bales and disperse them out onto the ground so the cattle can get to them easier. And I've got this dolly that is meant to haul utility poles. Now the dolly, where you see this deal poking in here at the front, this is normally going to have a big square tubing that goes out 30-40 feet. That's the whole frame of the trailer. And then this is the back end that is meant to haul utility poles. And what I'm going to do to this is I'm just sandblasting it. This will be the 3rd one I've done for this guy. He's not too far from here and he just drops them off for me to sandblast because he does his own painting. So I'm just going to be blasting this this dolly. This hydro bed, I need to get the strap off of it. I've got to get the little chrome cap off of the hydraulic tank right there. I've got to get these mud flaps off of here. I've got to get the lights off. I've got to get these cylinders. Looks like there's 3 cylinders I need to get masked up. And then I need to probably jack it up a little bit further in the front. And then I'm going to go ahead and sandblast this as well. And this, as soon as I get this Kenworth done and pulled out of here in a couple days, this is going in the shop so I can go ahead and get it primed and painted as well. But for now, all I'm going to be doing is getting it ready and getting it blasted. All right, it's been a couple hours. I've got the hydro bed blasted and I pulled it out front here. Once I got everything blown off, the trailer blown off, my pickup blown back off, everything, I pulled it out front here so I could go ahead and just get that dolly done indiscriminately. Just get it, you know, get all the angles, get all the stuff done without any fear of not paying enough attention and shooting beyond it and sandblasting my pickup. So I got this all done first, got it all blown off, pulled it out front here, which is where I'm at. You can see my sign. And now out back, I got the dolly done as well. Now here we are back out back. As you can see, I got this dolly all done. I'm letting the compressor cool down and then I can go ahead and clean up all my gear and get rid of the coveralls and go get cleaned up myself. This has been a long day. I'm kind of surprised there's any daylight even left. And here it is, all sandblasted, finished out. Looks like brand new metal all the way around. Ready for him to come pick up. And he'll be here about any time to get it. They don't want him to sit here and get wet, so they just get right on it. All right, it's about 6:30 in the morning and I'm out in front of the shop here. I'm planning on splitting with the family and going and doing some kayaking later today at the lake, because today is arguably the last nice day of the year where it's supposed to get into the 80s at all, at least in the foreseeable forecast. So this morning I'm going to spend my time putting some tarps over this trailer and finish up any of the prep that needs to happen to this hydro bed. And I'm going to go ahead and prime it and paint it first thing this morning. So in other words, this morning, like many mornings around here, I'm having work for breakfast. Just like this. Got tarps all the way underneath it, all the way to the front of the trailer. And then I'm going to go ahead and blow this all off and get some primer on it. Then I'm going to give the primer just a few minutes to set, about an hour actually. And then I'm going to come out and paint it here this morning. Well, now I got it all blown off and tarped up, and I noticed when I was sandblasting it that the license plate mount was in absolutely terrible shape, and it wasn't even in use. The license plate was mounted in a different spot. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off of there with the die grinder here before I get going. I'm just going to use this die grinder with this burr, and I'm going to grind it out in the 2 spots that it's mounted. But as you can see, there's nothing left of it. It needs to come out of there. And now I've got that ground off of there. That's all that was left of it. Now I can go ahead and get it primed and get some paint on it. All right, it's prime time. right, primer's all cured out. I'm ready to put some paint on. So it's the next morning now, and this is good and cured out. I'm going to go ahead and pull these tarps, put the tail lights back in it, put the mud flaps back on it, and get this guy ready to go. All right, so we got this all unmasked, put back together. I still have yet to tie it down, but other than that, it's completely done. Let's have a look. So I'm not sure what year this bed is, but it's called a hydro bed, and it's meant to fit on the back of a pickup, pick up large round bales of hay, load them on, as many as 2 of them on the bed, and then when the time comes that they're out in the field, they will use the same arms to lower the round bales to the ground and then roll them along the ground, so they will distribute the hay evenly for animals to then come and feed on. This one showed up with almost no paint left on it, rust everywhere. It had a license plate mount right here that was in terrible shape. I went ahead and ground it all off of there before we got too far into the job. Removed the lights, masked up all the cylinders, all 3 cylinders, painted underneath here. Got even in the nooks and crannies. Got the all sides of the arms and all sides of the armature itself. 2 coats of epoxy primer and 2 coats of 2K urethane. Got the underside of everything. Not the underside of the entire bed, that wasn't part of the deal. If the owner would have wanted it and been willing to pay for it, we would have done it, but that wasn't part of the deal, and oftentimes isn't. A lot of times people just want to get blasted and painted what you can see. Now, I did get the frame rails, so all the inner frame and the outer structure's all been done. This guy's ready to go do a bunch of work, move around a bunch of hay for a bunch more years. All right, now I've got one little miniature, for us anyway, project left to go on this video, and that's this one right here. Now, we're not going to be painting this truck. It's been painted at some point. The owner likes to keep his stuff nice though, and since the chassis does need some attention, we're going to go ahead and sandblast that. I don't really have the time to get this one into my shop and get the chassis painted, and this particular owner does a lot of his own painting anyway, so he's going to be the one that handles the painting, but I am going to blast this chassis for him here this morning. As you can see, there's been some stuff that's been moved on it, and just quite a bit of rust and chipping that's taken place over the years. And so we're going to blast this and get it all to bare metal. Not the insides of the frame rails. He specifically said we don't need to do that. Just this top grate that's green. And all the top rails and the sides of the fifth wheel plate here. The sides of the chassis frame rails themselves. The springs. Everything that you can easily see is what we're going to blast. We're not doing this one inside and out because he's not painting it inside and out. He just wants to freshen it up, make it look good again. He just got done installing fairly recently new frame rails on the inside of this one, so it's been double railed, and now they want to go ahead and paint it and finish it out and get it ready for the season. Well, I just got done sandblasting, just got the compressor shut down. This was an absolute handful, like a lot of these chassis are. If it's one of these factory chassis that's been powder coated in the factory, for some reason that, that powder coating doesn't hold up at all. It get rust built up under it. It starts falling off by sheets. It's not really a good coating at all. But when you go to sandblast it off there, that stuff is just almost bulletproof. It's basically the hardest material there is for me to sandblast. It takes so much time and effort, and brand new sand. You can't even use used sand. You have to use brand new sand, and you just have to sit and chew on that stuff all afternoon. I've been hours and hours on this chassis actually. So here it is before. And the other side is exactly the same. And here it is after. Back to bare steel. Just on the outsides here, we didn't get the inside of the frame rails. We didn't get all the way around all these suspension components and the rear ends. We just got what you could see here. That was the deal that we had, so that's what we did. This is all back to bare steel. Both sides got the fifth wheel plate. Got that plate that was up there in the middle, but didn't get anything else in between the frame rails. Got these braces that are meant to hold on to the fenders. All the way up to there. That's where we stopped. We didn't need to do anything from there forward. But that's enough playing in the sand for me. I'm going to go ahead and go inside and get myself cleaned up. So this concludes the third of the 3 projects that I'm bringing to you in this video. And now I've got to run because we've got a Kenworth half done in the shop I got to get to. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. That's going to help me grow this channel. And if you like videos like this, or domestic auto body, or art, or any of the things we do around here, you might as well go ahead and subscribe because, we always got something going on. We'll see you guys around.